Phil, first time at this stage of the competition since 1977. It's quite a tasty one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when the draw came out, it was an exciting one for everybody. Welsh derby and the chance to get into the quarterfinals for only the third time in our history. It's an exciting evening ahead.
And the first meeting between the two clubs in just over 20 years. Obviously, many won't have experienced this fixture before. What are you expecting, and what's the sort of message to your players?
Obviously, I had a chat with the lads today about our history in this competition, but also the rivalry between Wrexham and Cardiff, but I don't think it needed too much explaining because everywhere I've been going the last few weeks, supporters have been speak to me about that, and I'm sure the players have had the same. But we've had some important league games to focus on. It's great to be involved in a Welsh derby, and it's been a long time, like you rightly say, 20 plus years since the two clubs have met. So it's a very special evening for many reasons.
Do you sense a different atmosphere just the last 24 hours or so?
I think cup games always have a different feel. It is great to have a break from the league, but I think there's been an air of excitement since this draw came out, and now we can really focus on it because it's the next game.
Well, the fans will see it as absolutely massive in terms of the rivalry between North and South, etc. What about you and the importance relatively in your season? Realistically, you're probably thinking, we're not going to win the Carabao Cup. I know you've been to a final before, but big game here on Friday, back to the league.
Yeah.
How do you prioritise it then?
I think in any situation like this, you've got to kind of balance the team selection out, so you're not putting players at risk who've played a lot of minutes and got a big game Friday, but equally we've got to pick a team we feel can get through to the next round, and that's what we've done successfully so far in this competition, and I feel that's what we've done. We've thought long and hard about the team selection, looked at Cardiff over the last day or so, and picked a team we can get us into the quarterfinals.
It's home advantage. I know some people say it's not a derby, but look, it means so much, doesn't it, as we've already mentioned. But it's been difficult to win at home for you, really, this season. I know the first league win only came very recently. Yeah,
we got through against Hull on penalties, and we beat Reading, and we've had a couple of draws which probably should have won in the league, and we beat Oxford on Wednesday. So, I think obviously we're a team which is used to winning here, and it's been a real fortress, and we're working hard to get that back. But I think the Oxford win was an important one to get the first league win at home. The longer that goes, the bit of anxiety creeps in, and you probably could detect that in elements of the performances. It was great to get that win, and we were off and running at home, albeit we'd had the wins in the cup.
And important to come into it on the back of what was a very good result at the weekend and a good performance, which I feel will instill confidence into the players.
Yeah, without doubt. I said after the game that if ever there was a performance which could increase our confidence levels at this level, it was that one. Going to a team, obviously, which is right up there, and going toe to toe with them, matching them all the way, and I feel that the lads have steadily belief has been increasing at the level. And that'll only enhance that, I'm sure.
And what about Cardiff? Have you had a chance to have a look at them? They've lost 3 of their last 6 league games. Are they faltering?
Yeah, I've had a good look at Cardiff. All the stuff spent yesterday going through that. Obviously a good team. Anyone's at the top of the respective league has got talent in the team. They give up chances, but they can score. They're quite an open team on transition in particular. So I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I certainly feel that, and like any game, we'll prepare to look at what the opposition strengths are, but concentrate on what we need to do as a team and being at our best, and that's what we'll need to be to get through.
And just finally from me, I know they're talking it up, Cardiff, already, how big it is, and Wrexham hold no fears for them, but this is the first time in 40 years that Wrexham are in a division above Cardiff. So are you favourites, and The fans see it that way?
You will have to ask the fans that question. I can't speak for them. Are we favourites? Home advantage, division above them. I imagine in the bookies when we look at it, we'll have us slight favourites. But listen, I'm not concerned about that either way. All we're concentrating on is our performance level, picking the team and bench we can feel can give our fans the bragging rights in this Welsh derby.
Great, good luck.
Thank you.
Afternoon, Phil. Dan Scarr said after the game at the weekend that the lads have had an eye on this for quite a while, understandably. How nice is it for players to have these type of markers to look forward to in the season?
Yeah, I think with cup competitions, I've always tried to, since I've been ill, wherever I've been, to get through and take them seriously, because I think they give you a welcome break, but they add excitement as well. And this is a great example of that. The work we've put through to get through against Hull, to go to Preston 2-1 down at half time, turn that round, to beat a Reading team on the night who played well. So we've worked hard to get this stage, and we want to kind of really enjoy the experience, because it is quite unique, because it hasn't happened for so long. One being in this stage of the competition, two against Cardiff. So we're here to kind of make the most of the evening, like we did at Middlesbrough, in terms of going up there in terms of a full house at the Riverside Stadium. I want the lads to kind of really be in the moment and kind of enjoy these times, because they're great times for the football club. When you look, we're going into a week, Middlesbrough, Cardiff, Coventry. It doesn't get much better than that, and I want us to come through the week knowing that we've given our all, obviously, but also we've played our best both tactically and technically as well, not just the effort levels that we've produced performances like we've done certainly in the last two games. You've
smashed records left, right and centre ever since you've been here, but that 2012-13 run with Bradford, that must still be one of your highlights of your career.
Yeah, I was at Bradford last Friday for a dinner for Stephen Darby's M&D Foundation, and there's a whole lounge dedicated to that season, and the amount of people speak to me about the cup competitions of that era, their memories, and that's what football's all about. And you speak to the Wrexham supporters, and quite often they'll speak about the big cup nights they've had, and that's why the magic of football. And I don't want the nostalgia of the cup competitions. I don't think we should ever lose that, because look at Newcastle last year, what that's done for that football club. The atmosphere wasn't there, but you could feel the emotion coming through the TV. And it's being involved at this stage is fantastic for us from where we've come from, and now we're going to make the most of it to get through.
Just on the topic of squad and rotation as well, how's Lewis Brunt first and foremost, and Chafin Rathbone as well? Yeah,
not good with Brunty. Obviously he's had a scan yesterday, he's going to see a specialist. We're hoping that he won't need an operation, but it is a long-term injury. The actual timescale on that we won't know till he's seen the specialist. So we've got problems in terms of a few areas of the team. We're a little bit stretched at the moment, but I'm sure Brian has got a few problems himself. But we'll deal with that. We'll deal with those, and also protect a few of the lads who've been carrying knocks in these last two league games. And we'll assess those close to the kick-off.
Just Ollie and Ben as well, do you know if they'll be ready, or are they part of it as well?
I think they're both touch and go. Well, I don't think, I know they're going to be both touch and go, and we've just got that decision to make with them in terms of what they've done today. Is there any reaction tomorrow? We've got a big game on Friday, so we've got to factor everything in, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's everybody wants to play in every game. But niggles, ever slight their injuries, they've got to be right before we play them.
Thank you, Phil.
Any game coming up, I know it's the leaders, but how much does your team selection have a bearing on that game on Friday, Phil? Because it's only 3 days after it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the time scale of that being Friday impacts slightly as well. I don't think we can hide away from that, and we've just got to balance the squad and the bench, and have that plan B, if you like, from the bench to change it if we need it in both games. And looking at the overall picture is what management's all about. And as a staff, we were in very early this morning to try and get that balance right.
You've had in previous games in this competition, you've made 10, maybe 11 changes. Obviously the injuries that mean certain players aren't available might impact on that, but do you still feel like going wholesale?
I mean, there's going to be changes, but I think at this, where we've just come back from a Wednesday, Saturday games, we probably have got to get some freshness on the pitch. I think that gives us our best chance of progressing. So, we'll be looking at that closely, because I think that will be key.
And despite them injury problems, you have still got a lot of options at your disposal as well.
Yeah, I think obviously defensively, with Callum being out suspended, Brunty was probably the last player we needed to get injured at the weekend. But yeah, listen, there's always a solution, and we'll find the right one.